Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. For those of you that don't know, now you need to know. I am your host, Ramonepreston, and every Monday through Friday, in or around 12 o'clock noon. I'm not going to say right at 12 o'clock noon because sometimes it's in or around 12 o'clock noon. We come here live to give you information that can help you start, help you structure, and scale your business, your ministry, your income streams. Maybe you are an individual that's looking at scaling all three. Maybe it's a business idea you have, maybe it's a ministry or nonprofit idea that you have, or maybe you just work on a job and you're looking for ways to scale your income even as a W-2 employee. The good thing about the Ramonepreston Show is all the information that I share with you on this show is information that I live by. These are principles and concepts that I have put together to create a successful organizational enterprise. I say that with humility and I say that with a lot of gratitude because I have come from the bottom, and even though I may have created a successful organizational enterprise for all intents and purposes of what success may be to me, I still have so much more work to do, and I'm grateful to be able to share with you things that I know could at least help you get to 6, maybe 7 figures if you're willing to put the work in, educate yourself, and be consistent in your commitment to get to where you want to go. So again, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Thank you all for joining. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. At the end of today's show, I will give you a call to action. I'm going to give you a word. It's going to be an acronym, VIP, for you to text me, and I'll give you the number that you can text. If you are an entrepreneur or a small business owner and you're looking for creative but effective ways to market your business and to sell your products and services, I'm going to extend an offer to you at the end of the show. I'm going to give you the VIP and the number to text, VIP 2. And if you want to take your marketing to another level, if you want to learn grassroots strategies on how to get attention, if you want to figure out new creative and effective ways to get more attention and to make more conversions, I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to extend an offer to you. Today, I want to talk to you about something I talked to my mentees about yesterday. Every Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m., we host a live mentorship coaching call. And right now, we probably have about 50 individuals who are members of our Millionaire mentorship program. Of course, just within the last few years, we've had quite a few people that have come through our mentorship program. Some have stayed, some have completed it, some have fallen off. You know how it is, but nevertheless, during this 1-year mentorship program, we make sure that we host weekly coaching calls every Monday night at 7 o'clock p.m. And so last night, I talked to my mentees about 3 things your marketing needs. And even though I don't have the ability or the time to really get into all the details that I talked about last night, I want to at least share with you some things that I think are valuable enough and impactful enough for you, especially if you're struggling with getting attention, okay? So if you're an entrepreneur, most entrepreneurs don't make enough money to afford to even have a budget to run ads. Most entrepreneurs that have small businesses, they're not running ads. And if they're running ads, it may just be like $5 or $10 ads for a couple days that really don't get them no results. It just makes them feel good about themselves. I used to be that person, so I know what I'm talking about. There was a time I used to just take like $5 here, $5 there, $15 here, $20 there and run ads, but I really wasn't getting no results. It was just making me feel good about seeing the views And if anybody did comment, they were on the other side of the world. They were not customers or clients. They didn't have any potential of doing anything with me. So it was kind of useless because it really didn't help make conversion so that my revenue and my sales can go up. So if you're an entrepreneur, small business owner, you're looking for some creative ways to market your business and to sell your business, what I'm gonna share with you today will help make that happen. So I wanna talk to you about the 3 things your marketing needs, okay? So if you're taking notes, I'm gonna go ahead and give you all 3 because I know I ain't gonna have a whole lot of time to talk about all 3 of them, but I don't want to rob you of at least having an opportunity to learn some things about marketing. Now, before I get into all the details, okay, I'll give you the 3 things your marketing needs. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you own a small business, if you own multiple businesses, if you sell products and services as a freelancer, as an independent contractor, wherever you are, it's going to require marketing at some point. If you want to make more sales, if you want to increase your revenue, at some point you got to market, okay? So your marketing, whenever you get to the point that you start focusing on that, it's going to need these 3 things. Okay, number 1, I'm gonna give you all 3 of them. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Your marketing is going to need virtue. This was a good discussion I had last night in my coaching call. Your marketing is gonna need virtue. Your marketing is gonna need value. And your marketing is going to need volume, okay? So if you wanna know what 3 things your marketing needs, these are the 3 things. Your marketing needs virtue, your marketing needs value, and your marketing needs volume. Now, when I think about virtue, there are a few words that come to mind, okay? So I'm gonna give you a few words that come to mind when I think about virtue, when I think about value, when I think about volume. Here are the few words. I want you to think about power. That's one word. I want you to think about price. That's another word. And I want you to think about production. These are the words that I want you to think about when you work on adding virtue, value, and volume to your marketing. Now, why do I say your marketing needs virtue, your marketing needs value, and your marketing needs volume? Well, first and foremost, anything that has to do with marketing is directly connected to and associated with adding value to the marketplace. So what that means is you have to take a look at yourself. You have to take a look at your products. You got to take a look at your services. All the things that you have that are assets that could give other people value. You have to take a look at all those things that you have that are valuable. So if you run a business, if you have products and you got services, you got to start thinking about and taking a look at what do I have that people can use and benefit from? Okay, if you're a speaker, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're an educator, if you got courses, if you sell products and services, or if your services are in certain industries or areas, you got to start thinking about what are all the things that I have that are valuable. And what you have to do is you've got to convert all those assets into forms of information. You got to convert them into forms of information. You got to convert them into forms of support. You've got to convert them into forms of value. And I'm not going to use value because I'm already using it down there. Assistance. You got to take all the things that you consider to be assets, okay? And you have to convert them into forms of information. forms of support, forms of assistance. Why are you doing that? Because you are preparing to market the most important aspects of you, your products, your services, your business, your ministry, or whatever it is that you're representing. All right? And then once you start forming those things into information and support and assistance, now it's easy for you to start going into the marketplace and giving me, the end user, the potential customer and client, information, support, assistance, or whatever it is that you have that gives me the benefit of wanting to do more business with you. And you've got to be willing to be consistent with that until you start seeing some results. Somebody asked the question, how do the value propositions? I'm not sure what the question is about value propositions, but you know, your value proposition is essentially you taking, like, what is the most valuable asset that you have? Like, what are the things that you're good at doing? What are the benefits and the results of your products and services? And how are you packaging them or forming them into information, not just like some little statement, right? Or some elevator pitch, but you're forming them into information, support, and assistance so that you can give me and people in the marketplace a reason to want to do more business with you. All right. So I'm showing you an example. What I'm doing right now is an example. Okay. My wife and I, we have a business consulting firm. We consult clients for business, for real estate. We have for years. We consult people for starting their businesses. We help people start and structure their holding companies, their subsidiaries. We help people develop their divisions. Like, these are all the things that we do under the banner of Ramonepreston Enterprises. So we can help you set your LLC up. We can help you set your holding company up. We can help you integrate the right systems and processes for your sales, your marketing, your financials, your administrative operations. These are all the things that we do. We have educational courses. So these are all the products and services that we have. I'm a speaker. My wife is a speaker. We pastor a church. We're preachers. You know, we can host seminars. We do all this stuff, right? So these are all the assets that we have. Just because I have all these assets doesn't mean you're going to do business with me. Because if the only time you see me on social media, right, I'm just telling you what I have in the form of assets. If that's the only time you see me, right, on social media, at some point, you're going to get tired of me telling you how good I am, how good my products and services are, and how many assets I have, because that's not really bringing value to you. Are you understand what I'm saying? But if I take all the assets that I have because of who I am, because of what my products and services are, because of what my business is, and if I can form them into information, support, and assistance through the Ramonepreston Show, through 3,300 videos on YouTube, through free courses, or through workshops or events or programs that are not extremely expensive like my consulting services are, then at some point, if you listen to what I'm sharing with you about business principles and finances and holding companies and systems and processes, at some point you may raise your hand and say, hey, Ramon, I want you to tell me a little bit more about A, B, and C. But I've got to be willing to put that information together. So this is why I say your marketing needs these three things. Your marketing needs virtue, value, and volume. I just talked to my mentees about this last night in our coaching call. And even though I'm not going to go really in depth with it, I want you to just at least understand why these three things are needed in your marketing. Because your marketing is this: you taking assets, converting them into forms of information, converting them into forms of support, converting them into forms of assistance, When you start doing that because you want to start marketing your business, you want to start marketing your products and services, you got to make sure that your content, that your information, that your support and assistance has these three things. Number one, your marketing needs virtue. It needs to have something powerful in it. So that means you gotta be sharing stuff that's valuable. Like if you're saying something to people or giving people something and you know it's really not valuable, it has no application, it ain't really something that people can use, you just Googling information and copying and pasting because you want to create an article. You can't just give away articles and think people are going to want to value what you do or people are going to want to do business with you. You got to give away real stuff. So even though I do a lot of teaching and education online, but I also do a lot of consulting and coaching online. A lot of times I might do it for free. If someone calls in or if someone texts and responds to a video or to a show that we're talking about certain things and they have questions, we answer those questions. Even if people put questions in the comments, we answer those questions. We do our best to continue to communicate with people to help navigate people through whatever business or financial processes that they're in. That's something that I am delivering based on being a consultant, having products and services, even though that person might not buy anything from me. But at some point, if I do that enough, somebody is going to say, hey, I appreciate everything that you're doing for free. I appreciate everything that you're sharing with me. I want to do more business with you. So you got to make sure that whatever it is that you're marketing, if it's information, if it's support, if it's assistance, if it's something that you know is going to benefit the end user, make sure that it has virtue. Another word for virtue is power. Last night with my mentees, we were talking about another word called excellence. So if you are sharing information through posts on social media, if you are networking with people because you're looking for people to do business with, you got to make sure that you're giving them something that is of virtue. You got to make sure that you are flowing power to people and you're not just giving them stuff that really is not worth anything. So you got to think that through. I know a lot of entrepreneurs who want to do business with people, but they want to do business on the back end of somebody paying for a product or a service. They don't really want to do business with people on the front end before they buy a product and service. And you miss a lot of business because you're putting a barrier between you and the person that you can do business with. So for example, let me show you something real quick. If you take the most important information that you have about your business, or if you take the most important support that you can provide through your business and assistance that you can give to people through your business, and if you extended it to people who need it, here's what you're doing. You have a person here who could be your potential client or customer, and then you have a wall here. This is a wall, and then you have yourself here, okay? I want y'all to see this. So this is how your marketing looks. So you got a potential client here or a potential customer. You're here. So you got all these ideas. You got ideas. You got products and services. You got support that you can lend to people. You got assistance that you can provide for people, whatever it is. You got to take all that and figure out how you can give it to this person over here, even before they buy something. Don't put the money on the front end, because when you try to put the money on the front end right here, you create this barrier. You move the barrier when you move the money problem. Now, you just give these people that. And if the money is on the back end, if you do this enough times in your marketing, somebody will raise a hand and say, hey, I got money that I want to spend with you to get more of this stuff that you've already given to me. That's marketing 101, y'all. You can complicate it if you want to. You can make it sound deeper and more sophisticated if you want to, but I'm telling you, that's the basis of your marketing. And your marketing needs virtue. It needs to be full of power so that whatever it is you're giving to people, you're flowing power to them when you give it to them. And it should be your most powerful, excellent assistance, support, ideas. That's what it should be. I'm telling you, I've done this so many times. I know it works. I've given away so much free information, so much free advice, so many free consultations. I've had so many phone calls with people who just had 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 questions and then they got the answers and didn't buy anything. I've done it so many times, but guess what? Out of all the times that I've done it, there's a number of people who say, no, I still don't want to do business with you. And there's always a number of people who say, yep, I want to do more business with you. It's inevitable. It will happen because now you get into a numbers game where if you just keep producing, if you just keep giving people what you got and the best of what you got, somebody's going to raise their hand and say, yeah, that's not enough. I want more of that. I want to join your program. I want to buy more of your products. I want to do other business with you. So your marketing needs virtue. Number 2, your marketing needs value. Now, remember, I told you there's a difference between virtue and value. All right. Value is worth, but who knows the worth, the real worth of your products and services? Who really knows the real worth? I tell you what. If you telling me how valuable your products and services are, I don't know that. I don't know what the worth of your products and services are. I don't know the value of your time. I don't know the value of your intellect. I don't know the value of your assistance and your support and your networks and your relationships until you start putting a price to it. Now, when you start putting a price to it, I'm looking at it differently. Because I want to see, wow, you saying it's worth $100, but maybe it's worth 10. You're saying it's worth 100, maybe it's worth 1,000, right? But if you're giving enough on the virtue side, when I see the price, I'm not going to be moved by the price. I'm telling you. I said this last week to y'all on my live. That I've got courses and programs that I bought and paid for, just through going to free webinars or going to free events or, signing up for something and somebody responding to me via email or text or whatever. I've got more programs and products and online courses that I've signed up for that I've yet to use. I've yet to use them. I still have them in my inbox. I still got to go on and sign in and get my profile set up. But why did I buy them even though I haven't used them yet? Well, number 1, I bought them because they were so valuable. And the individual who presented it gave me so much value up front before they offered that particular thing to me that I really didn't give myself another choice but to say, you got to buy this. Because if they're giving me all this for free, I can only imagine what I'm going to get for this. And I could be wrong, but at least they did their job as a professional to give me enough value. So all I'm saying to y'all is if you have a business and you got products and services, you're going to have to figure out how to do the same thing and not have in your mindset that people who do that are scammers. See, some of y'all are fighting not against the marketplace that doesn't want to buy your products and services. Some of you are fighting objections that you've created in your own mind. You've created those objections in your own mind. So for example, you don't like to push people. That's what you say to yourself. I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be flexing and showboating. I don't want to act cocky. All this stuff you've created in your mind, and it's keeping you from really marketing your business and selling your products and services. Because you have this belief in your mind that I don't like people who do that, and I don't want to be that person. So what you resort to is nothing. You resort to failure because you feel like, I don't want to be that person. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, if you have virtue, if you have power and excellence in the things that you want to provide to people in the marketplace, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, or both, or whether it's just you as an individual, if you take that virtue, that power, that excellence, and package it in the form of information, support, assistance, and start giving it to the people who need it the most, even if there's no price involved, at some point in you giving it to them, at some point when you present the price, they're going to automatically see the value, and they will be willing to do business with you. There are 8 billion people on planet Earth. There is somebody on this planet that wants to do business with you if you can flow enough power to them, and when you show them the price of your products and services, they see the value. It's just as simple as that. I know I'm making it sound a little simple than maybe what it is, but you got to start somewhere. And the strategies that I'm talking about in terms of marketing and sales, they're not really sophisticated strategies. I'm not talking about doing stuff that is going to require you to have a whole sales team. It's going to require you to have a big budget for running ads. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, because when I was scrapping it out and bootstrapping with me and my wife as a 2-person team, we didn't have a sales team. We didn't have professional systems and processes. We didn't have marketing budgets. We didn't have none of that. All we had was a commitment to be successful. And we knew that if we're going to be successful and committed to that success, it was going to be dependent upon how much could we give to people that could benefit them, so that in turn, we could have people wanting to do business with us. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. So if you're taking notes, you better write what I'm saying down, because some of y'all need to get on y'all game today. Jathan, what's up, Jathan? Lula, I see you, girl. You better get on your game. So number three, the third thing your marketing needs is volume. Your marketing needs volume. So your volume is really your production. Your volume is about sound. Your volume is about scale. That's what your volume is about. Your marketing needs volume. That means, and I'm not talking about volume and you running your mouth. Your marketing needs production. Your marketing needs production. You need to, instead of talking, put up or shut up, right? You need to not just talk about how good your business is, how amazing you are. You don't just need to be talking about, I'm not saying not to talk about it, because you need to be peacocking. You need to be flexing, especially if you are a good person and you got products and services that are good. You need to flex. You need to promote. You need to make yourself bigger than life. And anybody that's uncomfortable with that, you don't need to be around. Those are the people you don't need to be taking advice from. And I know it's hard for a lot of people that I talk to, especially Christians and church people, because a lot of people who come up in the church or in certain households, they were taught not to toot their own horn. They were taught to be quiet and to just, play your role and don't be too loud when you go in a room. All that is counterproductive to your marketing, okay? People who think like that, well, I'm going to just move in silence and I don't want everybody to know what's going on with me. And I don't want to let my left hand know what my right hand doing. Listen, don't put God in the Bible into your lack of marketing. Don't blame the scriptures for your lack of marketing, because those two don't work together. If you're going to be successful in business, if you're going to get attention from people in this world, and if you're going to do business with people by selling them your products and services so that you can be a blessing to yourself and your family and your church and the world, if you're going to see that happen, I'm telling you right now, you're going to need to market. And it don't matter how good you think you are, how bad you think you are. It don't matter. I'm not a marketing expert, but I tell you what, I'm going to show up every day and I'm going to give you and I'm going to give the people that I come into contact with everything that I possibly can. Right now, I'm talking about marketing. Marketing is one of the many principles and concepts that I teach in my online courses. Marketing is one of the principles and concepts that I work with clients on as a consultant and as a coach. So that means what I'm sharing with you is valuable to you, is valuable to me, is valuable to my clients and to my students. And guess what? I'm going to continue to share that with you, even though I could say, oh, I have a marketing course that I want you to get access to. You may never get access to it because you don't value it. But if I talk about it enough and you listen to me enough and you learn something, at some point you may say, you know what? If he's telling me all this for free on the show, I can only imagine what he's going to tell me inside of his course and at his workshop. Even if that's not you, somebody's going to say that at a certain point. That's how you build a business. That's how you build a reputation. That's how you establish credibility for yourself. And that's how you grow your business. Do you understand what I'm saying? So number one, virtue. Number two, value. Number three, volume. When you get to the volume part of your marketing, this is about production. This is about volume is another word for sound. So when someone says cut up the volume, they're talking about turn up the sound. Volume is also scale. So now you got to figure out, how can I scale what I'm doing in terms of providing support and assistance to people? How can I provide scale? How can I turn that up? One way you can do it, and I've challenged my mentees for the past week or so to do this in the month of July. One way you can increase the volume of your marketing is by posting more on social media. Posting more on social media. I'm not able to post right now because I'm streaming live on my show, and I am my phone is being used for Instagram. But guess what? When I end the show and we click sign off, I'm gonna grab my phone and I'm gonna post something about what I'm talking about, because I know it's a numbers game. I got to continue to create volume. One of my mentors, I heard him say recently that when you market your business and you just put out content on social media, he said it's kind of like throwing some rocks into the Grand Canyon hoping it's going to fill up. Like, you'll never fill up the Grand Canyon by throwing rocks in it. I think we can all agree on that. If you went to the Grand Canyon and you took a bag of rocks and you start throwing rocks in there, you got to be crazy and delusional to think that you're going to fill the Grand Canyon up. Matter of fact, what you throwing in there ain't even making a dent in the Grand Canyon. That's how you got to look at the content that you post and put out on social media for yourself, for your business. And that content that you put out, it should be, for the most part, it should be powerful content that benefits the person who's listening to it. So I don't have to sit here and toot my own horn, but I already know ain't no way in this world you're going to be watching my show every day, listening to me every day, and at some point, you don't say, oh, wow, I understand what he's saying. That makes sense. Because what I'm saying and what I'm sharing with you is based on things that I'm doing in my business. So I know these things work. I'm not talking about clothes. I'm not talking about shining shoes. I ain't talking about washing windows. I ain't talking about engineering. It's just some things I'm not talking about because that's not what my business is. But when it comes to marketing, sales, financials, wealth building, holding companies, systems, processes, infrastructure, I'm going to talk about this stuff because that's what I do as a consultant, a coach, and an educator. So if I'm giving you enough value over time, at some point, somebody's going to say, bruh, come on, man, let me get the rest of that information you got. Let me talk with you. I got a couple questions I want to ask you. And you need to be doing the same thing. And guess what? You do not need an ad budget to do what I'm telling you to do. Okay? You do not need an ad budget to do what I'm telling you to do. You do not need a staff. You don't even need a virtual assistant to do what I'm telling you to do. And if you think you need all this stuff to do what I'm telling you to do, you are using a lame excuse to justify why you're not willing to put forth more sweat equity to make your business successful. I'm going to be the one to keep it 100 with you. It's a lame excuse. You don't need none of that. You don't need a landing page. Now, those things are important at some point, but if you're just getting started and you're just trying to scrap and make some money to get some activity going, none of that stuff is going to mean anything. I know people because I have clients who have landing pages, domains, websites, holding companies. They got LLCs. They got trademarks. But guess what they don't have? They don't have consistent revenue generating in their business because they ain't marketing. They ain't giving nobody value. Do you understand what I'm saying? What you say? Let's see. Someone said most of the influencers on social media front are damaging their brand because they're doing too much. That's true. A lot of them are doing too much. So you want to make sure that your marketing has virtue. That's power. You want to flow power to people. And it's not all about you just posting videos. A part of your marketing should be providing support and assistance to people who could either be a potential customer or client or who has a relationship with your potential customers and clients. So that could be you supporting a fellow business owner or someone who's either in the same industry you're in or another industry, and you just provide support to them. You provide assistance for them. That's a form of marketing because you're getting known. All right. I do this today. Like I have partnerships and relationships with people who do things similar to what I do in the educational space, the coaching space. They do some of the same things, but I don't look at them as competition. I look at them as colleagues and partners that I want to have a relationship with because I want to help them. But because I help them, guess what I get? I get exposure because I could get on their stage. I could get in front of their people. I don't even have to mention my business, my products, and my services. I'm just doing them a service. I'm just supporting them and assisting them. But essentially, I'm marketing because I'm flowing power to that person, to their company. And somebody may say, who is that guy that was just saying that? Or who is that company that was just doing that? At some point, it'll happen if I do it enough and be consistent with it. So you need value, virtue, and then you need value. You want to make sure that you have products and services that are priced and packaged correctly so that when someone does respond to something you say or do, they can see more value in the things that you're willing to offer them, okay? And number 3, you need volume. You need volume. You need to learn to get productive, and you got to get productive without depending on all this other stuff. I'm not saying that landing pages and ads and all this other sophisticated technological stuff ain't good. It works, but what I'm saying is if you don't have that, like most solopreneurs don't have, all right? There are 32 million small business owners in America. Over 80% of those businesses, that means 8 out of 10 business owners who got LLCs or corporations in America, 8 out of 10 of them are solopreneurs. They don't have no staff. The person who owns it is the person who's running it. 6 out of 10 of those businesses don't even make a profit. So the numbers don't lie. I already know most business owners, especially if they're solopreneurs, they do not have the money or the budget to run ads, to do professional marketing, to hire content creators, to have a sales team. They might not have a sales script. They probably don't have any of the stuff that a lot of businesses that are more established have. So guess what? If you don't have that stuff, we offer resources for you to show you how you can at least start getting some momentum even while you're a solopreneur. So in 11 days, I'm hosting a 1-day sales and marketing workshop, okay? So I'm gonna take a whole day and I'm gonna talk about marketing the first half of the day. I wanna show you a lot of grassroots strategies, content creation strategies. I'm gonna show you strategies on how you can easily reposition yourself to bring more value to you, which ultimately brings more value to your products and services. So I'm gonna take the first half of this workshop in 11 days on Saturday, July 22nd, and I'm gonna just help you understand marketing like from a basic fundamental perspective on a grassroots level. What can you as a solopreneur do to get more attention and to make more conversions? The second half of the day, we're gonna talk about sales. And my biggest goal during the workshop on the sales side is to make sure that you have at least some formal script and a sales process put together so that you can start using, so that when people do have conversations with you, it's easy for you to walk them through a professional sales process. This is critical, and you don't need a whole big team to do this. If you do this right, it's gonna grow your money, it's gonna grow your opportunities, and ultimately it'll grow your business. But if you hire people to do this stuff for you and you don't have none of this stuff in place, they don't have nothing to use. You can't expect for people to be Googling a lot of this information. So I want to offer you today one VIP ticket to my sales and marketing workshop. This is 2 workshops combined into one. So if you go to my website, we offer these workshops for $497 a piece. So that's almost $1,000 for 2 workshops, but I'm combining both of them. Number one, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs are struggling right now, especially because of the way technology is going and how industries are shifting. And you need to learn enough about marketing to start getting more attention, building your funnel and your pipeline, filling it up, and then knowing how to walk people through a professional sales process so that they can become paid customers and clients at some point. So I'm gonna give you a VIP ticket to the sales and marketing workshop, and I'm gonna give you 1-year access to 2 courses. I have a course on sales and a course on marketing. So I would prefer that you start on the courses leading up to the workshop. So when you get to the live workshop, you're already ahead of what we're going to be doing there, and you're able to put together a solid sales script. And most likely you should have a content creation calendar at least formatted. You may have the outline. Some of y'all may already have it all set up and structured by the time you get to the workshop. So that's a VIP ticket to my upcoming sales and marketing workshop, 1-year access to my sales course and my marketing course. And this is a $1,500 value of courses and programs that we sell regularly on our university platform. I'm offering it for $97. So I told you at the beginning of the show, if you want to take me up on that offer, there's just no way you're going to pay $97, take 2 courses and come to a workshop and don't learn something to help you get more attention and make more money. It's almost impossible. I mean, I think if I was a fraud and gave you all that, you would leave with something. If it was all fake, if none of it was real, you would just leave with something. If nothing but an enrollment on a university platform and maybe some paperwork from the workbook, you're gonna leave with something. But I can guarantee if you're a solopreneur like most business owners are, and you're trying to figure out how to get the most bang for your time, for your sweat equity and maybe for the money that you're putting into maybe having a website, a landing page, or post content on a regular basis, and you want to be able to have a sales process, I'm going to show you that. Like, I'm definitely going to show you that. Like, inside of the 2 courses that you could get onboarded to today, the sales course, we already have a sample script. So you can already start working on your script and your sales process, all right? You could use the same steps that we teach all of our students and clients. And then in the marketing course, you could start putting together a content creation calendar. I always recommend for you to try to put at least a 30-day content creation calendar together. Yes, on Instagram, the question is it offered virtually? Yep, it's gonna be virtual. So what happens is you call us, you pay the $97, we immediately onboard you to these 2 courses, and when you look at your dashboard, you're going to have the workshop inside of your dashboard. The private link is already inside of it, even though it won't go live until 10 o'clock a.m. on Saturday, July 22nd, but you will have access virtually to this whole workshop from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to interact. Our workshops, which are virtual and in person, they're always, awesome. We get great questions. We get a lot of great feedback, and the interaction is amazing. So you definitely can join us virtually. And again, if you're a solopreneur, this is how you just need to make sense, because some people can't make sense of paying $97 for 2 courses and for a workshop. Here's the easy way you can make sense of it. If you're a solopreneur and you're trying to make more money to increase your income, okay, and you do not have a professional marketing team, you don't have a professional content creator, you don't have a content calendar, you're not really good at coming up with those types of ideas, you might not even have a CRM to put the information of leads that you get inside of a CRM. If you don't have any of that or all of that, then guess what? You need this workshop in these 2 courses. On the sales side, if you don't have a sales team and or if you don't have a sales script that you use for the products and services that you provide, then guess what? You need this workshop in these 2 courses. Like, it's almost impossible for a business to succeed or for an entrepreneur to see any kind of growth and expansion if there's no consistent marketing that's actually working, and if there's no sales system or sales process with a script. You gotta have that. The truth is this: if all you have is an online store, if everything you do is digital and online, having a sales script should be built into your online store. So that means from the time somebody clicks on the website to go to your store to the time that they check out, there should be an intentional sales process thought out when that site is built. And that's not easy to do, but you got to get the information. Your education is going to be critical, especially in this season. A lot of people who are going to lose their jobs, lose their businesses, have to start over, are people who are not moving and progressing educationally, intellectually. They ain't learning nothing. You get what I'm saying? You gotta learn. Like, it amazes me how many people don't want to educate themselves, because this is the boring part. The boring part is you having to go on 2 courses and learn about principles and concepts regarding sales and marketing. The boring part is you having to put a 30-day content creation calendar together and figure out what all your titles are going to be. The boring part is figuring out, if you put at least 6 pieces of content out on social media a day, what is the content going to be about? The boring part is putting a script together and figuring out your value proposition so that it makes sense, so that when you are on the phone with someone or at a webinar or at a live event or building a landing page, that you can build your sales script and the right questions and fact-finding questions into your script or your presentation. That's the boring part, but I'm telling you right now, the boring part is where all the money is, y'all. That's where all the money is. And if you following the money, you're following marketing and sales. Anybody that ain't following marketing and sales in 2023, they are not following the money. So again, I want to give you a VIP ticket to my upcoming sales and marketing workshop. It's a one-day deep dive. We're hosting it live, in person and virtual on Saturday, July the 22nd. I would love for you to join me so that I can show you grassroots strategies for your marketing and for your sales, all of which you can do if you have nobody on your team except yourself, because I did it and I know it can work. I also want to give you 1 year access to my sales course and my marketing course to teach you the fundamentals of a sales script, a sales process, and the marketing process that we use. There's a certain marketing process we use, and I think the process that I use and the strategies that we've built into it, I think that they are revolutionary in today's world, because I tend to show people how to really position themselves on social media as influencers, as experts, as opposed to people who are just trying to sell a product or a service. It's a difference in how people perceive your value. So just text the word VIP to 678-276-8253. That's all you have to do. Text VIP to 678-276-8253. That's all you have to do. Just text VIP to 678-276-8253. These two workshops are $9.97 on my website right now. The sales course and marketing course, it's a part of a $497 package that we sell online. You're not spending $1,500 to get all this. If you had $1,500, you probably wouldn't spend it. $97 gets you access to this. I know without a shadow of a doubt you're going to learn more than $97 worth of information. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you all for joining the Ramonepreston Show today. My hope and expectation is that you got something out of these 3 things that your marketing needs. Put them to practice today and see what kind of results you can get. I look forward to hearing from you. Just text VIP to 678-276-8253, and I will see you all tomorrow right here. Same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern on the Ramonepreston Show.